All right, folks. Welcome to the Coach Glenn Hill Show. He is the head coach of your Navarro Panthers. And, Coach, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
And, Scott, our football historian, 34 years at it, right, Scott?
That's correct. Yeah, that's a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Coach Hill, we'd like to start off with you and giving us a little background and history, where you came from, and what your expectations are.
Sure. Yeah. Just a little bit about me, where I come from. Definitely from a coaching family. My father was a coach, 35 years, and my grandpa was a coach before him. Got to work for some great mentors. Started off with John Campbell at Brandeis High School. Really kind of shaped how I look at defenses. He's a defensive mastermind, and I had the privilege to work for Steve Baser at Brennan, who is still one of the absolute elite coaches in the San Antonio area, year in year out. So getting to start with those two guys, just absolutely intense, great to work for. I owe a whole lot of my career to those guys, and then was fortunate to join the Smithson Valley staff with my uncle Larry Hill for the last 8 years, where I got to learn a whole bunch about offense. And I always had some philosophies and beliefs, but he taught me a whole bunch about organization and how to kind of narrow your thoughts down and get something productive. But just excited to be here in Navarro. We've got a great group of kids, an amazing staff. There's some coaches that were here that I inherited that are absolute rock stars, and we're lucky to have them. Had some great coaches join us as well from other schools, and the expectations here are high, and that's why we all came here. That's why this is such a great place. We have every intention to have success, and we're trying to put our kids in a great position to do so.
All right, thank you for that,
Coach,
Coach Scott.
you mentioned your football family and your grandfather. Was that Glendale Hill at East Central? Was that your
It was
grandfather?
Yeah, Glenn Hill. So I'm actually Glenn Hill the fourth. So he was at East Central High School for a long time
All
back in
right.
the day. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I do remember, and I think his last season, Navarro people would be able to relate to this. They were 9-1 back when you had to win the district to get the playoffs. So they missed the playoffs
That's right.
because the team in that district
Right.
was Cuero, which went on to win the
Wow.
state
Right.
championship that year. Yeah, Cuero's been
Right.
a
And
pain
I
for
believe
people
they,
for a
they only
long
lost
time.
by 1 point to Cuero. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
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 No, he's the OG. He's the best of us all. He's the best Glenn Hill there is. But we got a watered down version of it here. Hopefully, I can live up to that.
All
Well,
right, Coach,
we
moving
enjoyed.
on. Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead, Scott.
I'd say a lot of fans will enjoy your father. I know it comes to the games, and will be a lot of them this year. Your father and your mother, and father, a longtime coach, 100-game winner himself. But if anybody wants to know kind of what's going on in the field, I'd recommend checking with your father. He seems to have pretty good understanding of what
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
doing. So
I think I might do that too. We need to get him a headset.
that's right.
All right, Coach. So it's a new era for Navarro Panther football, and you've had some scrimmages against Fredericksburg and Divine. Can you give us an overall feel that you had from those games, go starting with Fredericksburg and then into Divine?
I can, yeah. Fredericksburg it's a great opponent. First of all, both of those teams, Fredericksburg and Devine. I'm happy that we had some really high quality opponents to really test ourselves. They run very different schemes offensively and defensively, so we got to see multiple fronts on defense. We got to see multiple styles of offense, and it was our goal really to kind of let the kids go. We're coaching them up all spring and all summer, and it was our goal as a staff to kind of stay on the sideline, and we're going to send in our calls and let them communicate, allow them to fix some mistakes on the fly. And it was great to see them do that. And we ran some base stuff for the most part, but we were able to execute that. Defensively, especially, stuck out as handling very different styles of offense. We got guys flying around to the football and just trying to establish that we're a very physical football team offensively and defensively. And hopefully we were able to get that rolling.
All right, Scott, you got any questions for Coach?
I'd say I think the thing that surprised everybody, we saw the new offense, and it was we were passing in the short, a lot of the short game, but also going deep. Uh, probably hadn't seen that style in probably 18 years since Lottie had been in. So it's kind of people
Right.
were kind of laughing about. It. I was like, well, it's at least a while, but just talk about the adjustment, new offense and new defense this year. How the kids have adjusted, and how long do you think it really takes them to get fully kind of integrated into the new schemes?
Definitely, it is. It's brand new schemes on both sides of the football. Defensively, we're converting to a 4-3 front, which there was a four down front here last year, 4-2. But as y'all know, that's very different as far as your rules and fits are concerned. And we got some smart kids. I'll say that they're picking up on it. We have kids that want to be great. We have kids that put in the extra time. I just got done watching film with a whole bunch of them right now. They're coming in during lunch. They're coming in in their advisory period. They're trying to find times to continue to learn. Same thing offensively. The slot T has been a great offense here, and what our kids I hope are finding out is that we're still a very physical football team who wants to establish the run. While we're not in the same formations that they were in the past, we still want to dominate the line of scrimmage. That's still our goal, and we want to be as physical as we possibly can. At the same time, we do have some great playmakers. You mentioned the scrimmage. We've got some guys that we want to spread the ball out a little bit. If whatever the defense is giving us, we want to try to exploit that. So a lot of our plays are a 2-and-1 or sometimes even a 3-and-1. And it's up to the kids to, hey, what are they giving us right now? And we'll take that. So that's kind of our identity. And they've taken some ownership of it. And we'll see on Friday night how clean we are. Hopefully we're in really good shape. But it does. It takes some time to adapt and to learn some new schemes, especially when so many of these guys grew up their whole lives playing a certain style. And they have to learn on the fly. So it's going to take some weeks to get this thing nailed down just right, but I think we're on the right track.
All
Is
right.
the offense is it similar to anything that Navarro sees as similar to Wimberley or any team you see on the schedule? What would fans recognize? What would look familiar to them?
Offensively, it's similar to what some people are running. Now, we're in the pistol about 95% of the time. We don't play too many people that are in the pistol like that all the time, but we are a wide zone team, what we refer to as the stretch. That's kind of our mother play. That's the bread and butter play for us. So we'll play some teams that run the wide zone. I know Lavernia runs it really well. Wimberley runs some jet sweeps in the zone really, really well. So it'll be similar in that regard. But we do run some gap schemes. We run some counter, and I know this community is used to some pulling and trapping. So we'll be doing plenty of that as well.
Um, all right. Thank you, Coach. Now we'll just go ahead and move on to the your first opponent, Forestville Tigers. And so, what do you think some of the challenges are that they present?
Yeah, just personnel wise, jumps out to me. Their quarterback, Drake Coronado, he started for him last year. He's very dynamic. He can extend plays. Just watching some of the scrimmage tape makes me feel sick to my stomach. They think they had him under pressure, and then all of a sudden he's scrambling around for 10 seconds and finding guys downfield. He is a really, really good football player. And then Keyshawn Marsh is another guy that sticks out to me. He plays receiver for them. He's played safety. He's played corner. Rangy kid that's got really good ball skills when the ball's in the air. So they've got some good players that stick out to me. Offensive line is physical. They're trying to establish the run in these scrimmages as well. So just getting our defense ready for that. We got to be true to our keys and trust our coaching, and hopefully that'll put us in good shape.
Yeah. For their defensive side of the ball, what do you think you're going to see from them?
So last year they based out of a three down front. Last year I know they have a new defensive coordinator who has a history of some different fronts. So we're definitely preparing for everything. And offensively we try to keep our rules as simple as possible to where regardless of the front, we'll be okay with our plays if we can just know our rules and make sure we have those down. So we're preparing for a little bit of everything. They've shown a whole bunch of 3-4 in the scrimmages, mainly some cover four. They have some different adjustments that they've shown. But what sticks out, regardless of the front, is they got a nose guard that he fires off the football. He's a big kid, strong kid. He fires off with a great get off, and their linebackers are really, really quick to fit their gaps in the run game. So if we're having mistakes up front, we could be in some trouble. So we're going to have to handle those linebackers and that defensive line.
Scott, do you have anything for Coach?
And just talk about how hard it is with the season opener. They probably didn't show you everything in the scrimmage. They probably made some changes. How much harder is that to prepare for?
And that's pretty common. Week one, non-district games for the most part, who can make some adjustments and who can have the athletes that are able to, on the fly, adjust in a game. Hey, we worked this front all week, and oh, dang, they're in this front. Can we utilize our tool belt to make these adjustments? They give us iPads now in the press box. We can immediately see the film. So hopefully we've got some guys up there that can identify these things that they're doing differently, relay those messages down to the coaches on the sideline, and we'll relay it to the kids and let them adjust. And like I said at the previous question, just trusting our rules. There's not a formation offensively they can come out in that should freak us out. There's not a defensive front that they come out in that we can't run this play tonight. If we can just have our guys execute their roles, and man, they've had a sharp week of practice. It really is. I'm not just saying that. It's been the absolute best week of practice we've had since I've been here. So that's really firing me up and giving me confidence that they're buying into it and they're ready to roll.
All right, Coach, you got a good mix of seniors and juniors and a few
Mm-hmm.
underclassmen. So who stands out as some of your leaders? Have the seniors really stepped up this year, you believe?
We have some great seniors, some guys who played huge roles for these guys in the past. Braddock Galini, Dylan Trotty, Mason Berry, Hudson Jenner. I can go on and on. Evan Rodriguez. There's a whole bunch of guys that made impact plays for them all last year, and their personalities are starting to come out. Early on the first couple of months, getting to know them. Sometimes the coaches are a little shy trying to figure them out, and the kids are a little more shy trying to figure them out. But we got some guys that are really, really high energy, and like Mason Harvey, for example. If you're around Mason Harvey and you're going to be even keel and calm, that's not possible. He's going to get you fired up. He's going to bring the juice. So we definitely have some senior leadership that's bringing the energy for our guys. And you mentioned we've got some younger athletes as well, some juniors that are going to step into starting roles for us that maybe last year they were on the JV or serving backup roles. And we have high expectations for them. They haven't started a game in their whole life, but ready or not, here we go, Friday night.
Yeah.
Same thing with the sophomores. We got some young kids that something I've just learned in my past working with some of the mentors I have is you can put a lot more on a kid than you may think. And these young sophomores, maybe they're 15 years old, but they can handle it. And sometimes the Friday night lights spook some guys, but I think we have some athletes that are ready for the moment.
All right, thank you, Coach. Scott,
I
anything to
just,
add?
you talk about big plays. You had a couple of players last year in this game. It was very close. Fourth quarter, Floresville was driving to take the lead. I believe Riley Blevins made a big stop at the goal line. And then a couple of plays later, Dylan Trotty went 92 yards, really kind of put that
Right,
game away.
right.
So let them know we want to see more of that. We'll take another 92-yard run and then
Okay,
and some more
I'll bring that up
yeah.
to the guys here at our next meeting. I'll let them know they're more than welcome to do that.
Uh, all right, Coach. We'll try to go ahead and wrap it up. I know that you've got other things to do, and we appreciate you coming out. But so my last question is going to be for you today is what are your three keys to victory?
Three keys to victory. I'd be lying to you if I said anything other than what I tell the kids. Saturday morning, we come in and we look at three things. That's our special teams. Do we have three big plays in the special teams? That's explosive plays. And for us, the way we chart that is a play of 15 yards or more. Do we have more than they get? Simple as that, very black or white, cut and dry. We need to limit theirs and we need to get some of ours generated. And then can we take care of the football offensively? We're not throwing the ball into traffic. We're high and tight when we're running the football. We're protecting it at all times. And then on defense, can we take the ball away? Those are the three keys that we're going to carry week to week is takeaways, explosives, and the kicking game.
All right. Thank you for that, Coach. We really appreciate it. Well, Scott, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. The coach can get on his way, and he's got other things to do and a family to go back home to as well. So, Coach, again, many many thanks, and we wish you the best of luck in this first week against the Tigers.
I appreciate you guys. Let's go Panthers.
And go Panthers!
All right. Thank you, Coach. Thanks.
All right.